Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Quisha, but I go by Unappreciated Beauty here on YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to be doing a comparison video. I have a new palette that I'm going to be working with, and I have some exciting news to share with you guys later on. But I'm just going to jump right into this video. So as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be doing comparison between the Beauty Glazed palette and the Morphe James Charles palette. This palette is a lot smaller than the James Charles palette, and to be honest, this looks like another video that I'm doing as far as when I showed you guys the 35B versus the James Charles palette. I did see a few more reviews on this Beauty Glazed palette. There's some shades that are missing in the Beauty Glazed palette versus James Charles, and just from like comparing it, just looking at it, some of the shades aren't exactly dupes, but they're pretty close to the actual palette. Like I said, I'm pretty sure you guys have seen more than one video on this palette. So this is the Beauty Glazed palette, and it is $11.88 on Amazon. I have Amazon Prime, so I got mine in 3 days, so shipping was really fast for me to receive this. Apparently this is a popular palette, so it does sell out pretty quick if you're wanting to purchase it. I have no idea when it'll go back into stock. It is a very popular palette, as well as James Charles palette. This is a really popular palette. I think it's $39 on Ulta, something like that. I got mine when it first launched at Ulta, so that I would already have it. Honestly, truly, it's a different formula from 35B, but it's basically the 35B, I guess just an upgrade. But there are certain techniques that you have to use this palette, while with the 35B you don't really have to worry about all that. So as you guys know, I've already mentioned that there's no transition shade in these palettes, like not even in the Beauty Glazed palette. I don't have a transition shade to use. I'm just going to use something close to that. That way I can just keep it all in the same, and then we'll just go from there. So I've already done my eyebrows, and I've already primed my eyelids. I used the ABH brow powder, and then I used the Tatcha primer on my eyelids, and they just released the mini Tatcha primer, so it's only 20 bucks if you don't want to pay for the big one. But anytime you spend some money on these products, it's always an investment. I've honestly had this one since about August, so going on almost a year, so you get a pretty good amount of product for the price. This primer has actually helped my eyelids look a lot more healthier when it comes to applying eyeshadow, and thank God, because I do have creasing, so I have to pack on a lot of pigment to avoid the creasing, but it still happens for me. Like, I don't have like perfect eyes, and I also have dark circles around my eyes too. So basically this has come like a routine of mine, because I get the best, I can't remember the word. I get the best results when I do the steps that I do. So that's why my little routine hasn't changed much. And before I started doing eyeshadow a lot more, I wasn't doing all of this. Now that I've realized how beneficial it is, it just comes right along. Makes it so much easier to do eyeshadow looks, especially if you have a really good base. So I'm just gonna apply a little bit of translucent powder to my lids, because the other day I did a look without setting my lids, and it wasn't bad. It's just that the product was a lot more sticky. So it felt really weird trying to blend out those shadows, like a really sticky base like that. Translucent powder does help smooth everything out. Okay, so I'm not going to keep picking up the palette because it just makes everything like shake. I'm going to go ahead and use this banana shade as like my transition. And then for the Beauty Glazed palette, it's this one right here. Still kind of looks the same. I'm going to use James Charles on this side and then Beauty Glaze on the other side. And most of these shades, they honestly really don't show up on my skin. That's why I said I don't have an exact transition shade, but we'll start somewhere. So this is just that like vivid bright pink in the palette. It's not as pink, but it does lay down pretty well. So then I'm going to go in with the purple. I'm going to use the light purple first and then go in with the deeper purple, if I have to. Now look, it looks like the Beauty Glaze is competing, honey. So you can see that I'm using different brushes for each side because I'm using different palettes. James Charles palette so far and Beauty Glaze. And I might have to go in with the dark purple because it's looking a lot more deeper on the Beauty Glaze side. I'm mad nobody told me about this Beauty Glaze palette before I bought this James Charles High Eyes palette. What the heck? So I'm going to cut my crease on both sides. So next, in the inner part of my crease, I'm going to go in with the light blue. And then blend out the purple. And we lost the purple in the crease, so I'm going to go back in and deepen it up. So now for the Beauty Glaze portion, I'm going to go back in with that light blue. And then take that, like, on the Beauty Glaze palette, this blue looks more navy blue. And then same thing, and then deepen up that purple. So I do have some mermaid jelly that I'm going to use, and this is You Feel Me by Glitter Injection. So you know how you say you feel me? It's You Feel Me because it's like teal. And I'm going to use the Glitter Injections glitter glue. I'm just using this like ice sickle color-ish for inner tear duct. It's right next to the white shade in that palette. So I'm going to use a foundation that I haven't actually used for a full makeup application. I'm going to use the Morphe Fluidity foundation, and I am the shade 4.10. I also got another concealer. It is a bit more yellow than I would like it to be, but I really didn't have no choice. I have to say, I'm super impressed with this foundation. Like, I was not expecting this. And it is a matte foundation, but I'm still gonna go over it because my skin is like combination skin, but the oils kind of still peek through, so I'm probably more oily than anything. But sometimes my skin does okay, and then sometimes it's like backfires. I'm going to still stick with the Too Faced concealer, and then I'm going to use the Morphe concealer. I went back to Ulta and I got a new concealer shade, so I chose C3.55. I'm going to use the Patrick Star powder. I'm going to go back in with the purples and then put it underneath here. Then I'm going to put my lashes on and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so Beauty Glazed side is over here and James Charles side is over here. Like, I'm like shook that there's like no difference. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference that I used two different palettes. So that is amazing. I am so glad that I was able to get this palette to review for you guys. Only $11 US. That is really cheap for a palette, and I'm always iffy when I purchase like really cheap palettes. It really just proved me wrong that Beauty Glazed has some good products. The pigment is on point, and I was able to layer the colors the same way and blend out the colors the same exact way as James Charles palette. So if you're iffy about James Charles palette or you don't have the budget, Beauty Glazed is a winner. Like, it's a yes for me, dog. But I'm so glad that I did this because that kind of let me realize that I don't have to always buy high-end products. I can save myself some money because doing YouTube videos can be very expensive. I'm super stoked. I can't wait for you guys to try this palette if you have not already, and I absolutely give it 5 stars. So I waited to the end of this video to let you guys know that I am now part of a beauty group. You guys will be able to see more collabs from the group. We're gonna have our own special playlist, that way you guys can click on our videos and watch our makeup looks. And we're going to be working with the Beauty Glazed palette all year, so whenever you see a video pop up, you're going to know that I'm going to be using a cheaper version of the James Charles palette, which is the Beauty Glazed palette. and I'm really excited to be a part of this collab group. There are so many different creators and they are very talented. So yeah, I'm super excited to be a part of this beauty collab group. You guys will see more videos from me and more videos from them. I will leave all of their YouTube links down below if you guys want to follow all of us. That way you could keep up with the collabs coming from this group. That'd be amazing. And yeah, that was the big news and I'm so excited. I can't wait to show you guys more looks and bring you guys like affordable eyeshadow looks, especially for beginners, because you guys know that's what my heart is on YouTube, is beginner makeup. Yeah, I forgot to mention this video was basically an introduction to me working with the Beauty Glazed palette, and just to give my first impressions of the palette. That way you guys can see how I actually used it and you know how the makeup look came out. And then we were also supposed to use a foundation that we've never used before, and I decided to use the Morphe foundation because I only did a first impressions video and I didn't get to like fully put on the foundation and let you guys see how my makeup look came out, you know. So that way you guys can have that video to refer to. If you guys have not already subscribed to my channel, if you are new here, go ahead and click down below and subscribe. I'll leave all of my social media platforms, that way you guys can follow me and I'll follow you back. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.